You are learning how to master money, not be a slave to it. And in the beginning, any small victory is what you feel like you need to keep pressing forward. And some of you, unfortunately, want to do that prematurely with trades. I just need that little affirmation, that little nudge. This is going to work for me. I know he said don't push a button. I know he said don't trade, but I have to. Michael, if you could just feel what it feels like to be inside this skin of mine. I got to wake up every day and do this dumb shit and make no money. I'm in a country that doesn't make any fucking money, and I'm in an impoverished nation. I didn't have a father. I didn't have a mother. I can't get a job with my college degree. I dropped out of college. I couldn't afford it. My mom and dad don't do this for me. Look, listen. All that stuff may be true. I had everything stacked against me. Everything. I had no pedigree that had money before me. I had no advantages where people could help me get into certain things, fall into certain, perfect scenarios for jobs. I didn't have any of those advantages. I didn't have this, where somebody's whipping my ass into shape when I'm doing stupid shit. Get me back on the rails. Keep me focused. Let me tell you something. My feelings would not have been fucking hurt because this is exactly how my grandfather talked to me. And I miss it. I wish I could hear that Navy man whip my ass and get your head in the fucking game. Focus on this. What are you looking at that shit for? This is what you're supposed to be focusing on right now. Yes, sir. I didn't have that when he passed away. He didn't see me do this. You have someone in me that proves that we can do this consistently. I'm teaching you how to do it. I'm giving you a mindset, a way of thinking about it, how to conquer your demons, wrestle with them, pin them, beat their fucking ass. But you have to show up and do everything I tell you to do. And everything I tell you not to do, you need to keep it away.
Alrighty, boys and girls, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy hump day, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Say what's up in the chat, boys and girls. Welcome to the stream. Like the stream on your way in if you'd be ever so kind. And let's get rocking and rolling. Let me make sure audio is not too loud here. Looks good. Good morning, Rita. Good morning, Rose Lee. Good morning, Dawson. Good morning, Sashin. Good morning, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know your bias for the day, boys and girls. Poll in the chat. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? How are you feeling? Today, we have another day of World Economic Forum annual meetings. That is all we have for news for the day. I checked the economic calendar last week on stream. I didn't think there was anything, if I remember correctly, I didn't think there was anything for us to worry about today as far as earnings go. Oh, let's find out here, boys. Yep, nope. Nothing to worry about for earnings as well. Tomorrow also. So yeah, we're good for this week. Let's see if next week, if there's anything. Wednesday. We got Microsoft and Meta earnings coming out next week, Wednesday. So that is something that we should be mindful of going into next week for AM session. AM session could be anticipating these earnings numbers. So we could see more of a high resistant condition on Wednesday next week. As a result, Apple on Thursday and Amazon. So So Wednesday and Thursday next week will be days that could be a little bit higher resistant because of that. But the more you know, boys and girls. So looking at the chart right now here on the NASDAQ, we've seen this bullish order flow still maintain, right? So this is what I talked about yesterday in the morning when I started the stream, was this 4-hour market maker buy model, if you will, taking place, and how we're respecting bullish order flow, which was what initially caused me to want to be bullish yesterday in the morning. And I was bullish, obviously initially, and then some things changed that made me flip my bias. And ultimately, in hindsight, obviously would, you know, if I could go back and change time, boys, I'd go back and not have flip biases, but I'm only human and I make mistakes. So what can I say? We do have an interesting SMT happening right now. So obviously market just opened up. Before we drop down, obviously making note of this high being traded through, this buy side liquidity level. If I go over here, we'll start looking at these side by side. So this is the SMT that I'm talking about. So we got NQ right now driving higher. Meanwhile, we got ES kind of going the opposite direction, actually, for the moment. So high resistant condition, possibly, that maintains. Take a little peek here at YM just for shits and giggles. YM's going down. ES is starting to go down. Meanwhile, NASDAQ is going higher. So that's fantastic. Just taking a peek here. Some different things. We got a big volume imbalance. Big new day opening gap. I'm going to come down here. Where's the 345.5? Oh, my bad, boys. I changed the time on this to my local time last night as I was sending some charts to some people, but we'll change that back to old New York time. So here we go. Here's our new day opening gap. The old end dog. And then we'll check opening range gap here as well. Fuck. You son of a bitch. All right, regular trading hours. And there we have it, boys and girls. Let's measure this out. Over 150 points. So definitely a big enough opening range gap. Mark out the quadrants of this. So anything over 120 points, according to ICT a couple of weeks ago on YouTube, says any opening range gap over 120 points, you should expect continued expansion in the direction of the opening range gap, with a possible retracement to about the first quadrant. Oops. But not required. Go and delete this. This 4-hour candle closing here in 20 minutes. Be interested to see how we do close on it. Otherwise, here, let's drop down. Start following the 1 minute. Yeah, big push up here at the open. Opening range gap. Or I'm sorry, not opening range gap. First presentation fair value gap. Hasn't been one created yet. You know, take it back. Right here. First presentation fair value gap right there. I was deceived by the opening candle being a doji. Yeah, interesting that ES and YM selling off here, and then we got NASDAQ that skyrocketed at the open. So yeah, a little unclear at the moment, I would say. Good morning, time is priceless. Wriggles, good morning. Not touching this. NQ up, ES sideways, Dow going down. Yeah. Not ideal conditions as of right now, I agree. But this is something to just take note of, boys and girls. Like, if you know, if you're for journaling processes, or you know, just taking a strong mental note. I've found that really building expectations around the economic calendar is useful. The problem is like if you look at the economic calendar and you see something on there and you tell yourself, well, because of XYZ, right? I think we're going to have possibly a little bit more challenging conditions. And what I used to always do, regardless of that, and I still make this mistake sometimes. You know, you have an expectation and you'll come to the charts that day and you'll still say, well, I'm still going to try really hard to find something, you know, and you start pushing buttons, even though your expectation is that it's more challenging and maybe you should be more picky, you know, and then, you kind of end up kicking yourself. You're like, ah, man, I knew better. Was a little too trigger happy. So, we talked about it last week, obviously at the end of the week, coming into this week's trading days, was just that I felt we should have tempered expectations with inauguration and bank holiday Monday, Tuesday, day after bank holiday and the inauguration. Start of WEF meetings today. All we have is WEF meetings. Yeah, no red folder news till Thursday, Friday. So it's not. I would say it's meeting our expectation that we set forth last week. Looking ahead to this week. Good morning, Maida. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Tyler. Good morning, Wolf. Hussein, my direction for the day is I'm pretty neutral at the moment. I know I kind of hung you guys out to dry with the poll in the chat. I didn't give you the option of being neutral. I just said bullish or bearish. But if I feel like if I give you guys the neutral option, it's like everybody's just going to pick neutral, and then if they had the ability to, they would just change their vote to bullish or bearish depending on what the market did. Everybody cheats on these polls. They wait to see what happens, and then they they guess their vote. But yeah, first presentation for value gap. We got indices going two different directions at the moment, so I'll wait until something's a little bit more clear cut to try to determine a bias. Obviously, you know, we're expanded. We went higher overnight. We went higher at the open. I deleted it now, but we traded above this buy side level here. Obviously, there's more buy side to go. There's nothing saying price can't just continue going higher, but most recently, that's what we've done. Dun, 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 dun. NQ starting to look like it might want to break down here. We're holding the first presentation for value gap for the moment. ES is still working lower though. So starting to wonder if ES is going to start dragging NQ down and we're going to flip this. We'll find out. Macro in like 8 minutes, boys and girls. I haven't checked dollar here in a long time. I used to look at dollar a lot, but I kind of found that I found myself over analyzing a lot on it, and I would disregard a bias that I felt strongly about because of something else I saw in the dollar, and it kind of would always throw me off. Often enough that I said, the hell with it. The hell with DXY. You were bullish, but this 5-minute IFVG looks juicy if we invert it. The 5-minute. You were bullish? Oh, you're saying if we invert this to go lower? 10 a.m.? Yeah, that's likely what we're setting up for here. Not a whole lot. I mean, I think it's a coin flip which way we go at this point. You got the other indices going down. You got NQ going higher at the open, so it's kind of a coin flip. You could piece together some pieces of evidence. Like, the only reason that I would feel good about this remaining bullish partially is due to the fact that our opening range gap was as big as it was. And it has worked out since I've been forward testing and monitoring the opening range gap size. And every time we've had an opening range gap, you know, over 120 points, we get generally just continuation without any retracement at all into the opening range gap. It'll fail at some point. Nothing's 100%, but since I've been paying attention to it, that's definitely played out every time. Yeah, this does look like it wants to hold for now. This was so interesting, right? Like, looking at this is kind of the double-edged sword with this. So I'm looking at these charts side by side, obviously, right? You got ES here, NQ here, both 5-minute chart. And I feel like you would have a completely different bias, bullish or bearish, if you're looking at this ES chart on the 5-minute. I mean, look at this. We got ES respecting 5-minute inefficiency here, right? We get price coming down, closing below, creating a change in the state of delivery with the bodies. You know, so this would point, that price action there would point bearish if you're just looking at that. But then you come over here and you take a peek at this NQ 1-minute chart. You know, and you definitely are thinking the exact opposite. This is, let's see, this first presentation of fair value gap is about a 25-point gap. You could have entered on this gap, I suppose, with your stop below this fair value gap candle. It'd be about a 30-ish point stop, depending on your entry. If you were taking it back to all this recent high, yeah, again, depending on your entry, your risk reward is iffy. Maybe a 1-to-1 if you enter right at the high end of the gap. If you entered somewhere down in here, you get obviously a lot better risk reward, but But yeah, I don't know. To me it's unclear because of the indices doing two different things. We blowing the funded today. That's the spirit, Oscar. Listen, if you come with that expectation and you make a bunch of money on it, then you know what I mean? What a great plot twist. It's definitely better than getting your hopes up saying you're going to make a bunch of money and then you end up blowing it. That's usually where most people go. When will daylight savings revert back to normal? Actually, that's a great question. I don't remember when. Here. Hey, Siri. When is daylight savings time?
This year, daylight saving time starts on Sunday, March 9th, 2025, and will end on Sunday, November 2nd, 2025.
March 9th. Did, Alif, did you see how easy that was? Now you know. Went long inside the first presentation for value gap, exited at 21,972. Nice. Yeah, first presentation for value gap is definitely significant. For sure. I agree with that. Yeah, price pushing higher here. First silver bullet macro starting here in a minute. Less than that. Crypto is kind of at a standstill so far this morning. Let me check the heat map. What is this shit? Microsoft up 2, Nvidia 3%. Apple hasn't moved a whole lot. None of these have moved really a whole lot. Microsoft and Nvidia, the only things going higher right now. Honestly, a lot of red actually outside of small red, but more so red outside of the NASDAQ. Hence why NASDAQ's the only one going up. I guess that checks out. Macro's just starting. We have this 4-hour candle closure in 10 minutes, obviously getting us to 10 a.m. Yeah, we've just been going higher all night. Asia, London, so far this morning. We grinded higher pretty much all PM session yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet in my post in the YouTube community tab. I was able to participate in a big chunk of that move. I mean, a decent chunk of that move yesterday in the PM session to the upside. I ended up holding it. It like went 90% of my take profit within the first 5 minutes. And then I'm like, no, I'm going to hold. I'm going to wait. Don't close it early. Let it hit the take profit. Be patient. Sure enough, it pulls back, chops around for over an hour. And yeah, I just got to a point. We generated some buy side internally, swept it, couldn't close above. Plus, I'd already held the trade for over an hour at that point. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting out of this. So I got out for like a 1 to 5. The risk reward was just really insane because the stop loss was super tight. But yeah, I was able to get a decent little win yesterday in the PM, so that was good. Yeah, I mean, just look at the difference. Look at the strength here on NASDAQ versus ES. We're just holding this area. Opening range gap theory playing out yet again. Over 120 point opening range gap. Expecting continuation higher. There you have it. We didn't even trade down into the first quadrant. So if this continues, CES kind of catching up now. If this continues, would like to then look for something to set up along the lines of, well, we'll see how this all kind of forms and sets up here. I don't want to say something too early and then we get different data and then I'm having to change and you guys are sitting there like, oh, this guy's fucking changes his mind every 2 minutes. But what I'm starting to anticipate a little bit more as a possibility now could look like something like generating some sell side. We run it into an inefficiency, like something on a little bit higher time frame probably. And then if we were to hold, I don't know if this fair value gap will get traded back into. But essentially looking to catch, I'm leaning more towards catching a continuation now than a reversal. We'll see. I can change my mind if things start to look a little different here around 10 a.m. Moral of the story is if we're going to reverse, we're going to see a 10 a.m. reversal. But if we don't get that reversal right around 10 a.m., in my opinion, we just kind of continue to grind higher for pretty much the rest of the morning, most likely. But we're leaving a pretty big 15-minute imbalance. This candle is something else, though. That's 50 points. It looks bigger than it is. Just sifted through these time frames. For anybody that did long this first presentation for Value Gap, one, congratulations. Good work. Projecting out this range here. -1, because our buy side level, do I have it? I don't have this one on the... Our buy side level, the next one, 22,111, tucked right inside 2 to 2.5 standard deviations. Ah, shit. So this is what I mean. I don't want to say that we can't get a 10 a.m. reversal because we can. But I think it's starting to look like just one of those classic buy days where we just continue expanding higher. So therefore, I'm starting to now lean more, wanting to see like an imbalance here left behind, like on a 5-minute, right? Like right here. You know, maybe see this become a breakaway right here. Leave an imbalance here, get a retracement down in there, see that hold, grab an entry, and then See if we can continue riding this. NQ's definitely outpacing ES in strength to the upside, so I feel good about being in the right asset there. And realistically, if you're looking for a bearish reversal, would have preferred to see that SMT hold at the highs here when it was there. So that's where I'm leaning as of right now. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree. Is there anybody in the chat that's like, no, dude, we're 100% getting a reversal at 10 a.m.? What are you guys feeling? If I lose today, I'll take it as a sign from God, aka Powell, to pursue a career as an OF manager. Do you guys think we'll ever ban OnlyFans? I mean, you got a lot of people making a lot of money on TikTok, and that still might get banned. Do you guys think OF will get banned ever? Because it should. I think everybody for the most part would agree with that. I mean, granted, we get to make a lot of off-the-cuff jokes about OnlyFans, which we wouldn't be able to do really anymore if that happened. But for the betterment of the world and society that we live in, boys, I'd be in favor. Do I think on the M15 on ES there is a RDRB? RDRB? I don't know what RDRB is, I don't think. RDRB. Yeah, Hossein, you have to tell me what RDRB is. It sounds familiar. I just can't I just can't think of what that stands for. I'm assuming Ben, that means you're waiting for a bearish reversal? Is that what I'm understanding? I'm not saying a bearish reversal can't happen. I'm just saying the way things have formed up to this point and bearish PD rays have failed around that SMT divergence at open. Generally, I've just seen price climb higher. Usually, I'm the guy that's looking for the reversal, and I end up getting cooked. I'll be sitting here. Go look at it. Go look at one of my streams last week. This literally happened to me. Price was just grinding higher, grinding higher, grinding higher. We did get like a little setup to go short on a 1 minute chart. I took it, and then price just keeps climbing. And somebody in the chat was like, "Bro, what the fuck are you doing getting short? Bro really tried shorting this? LOL." And I'm sitting there. I'm like, I zoom way out. I'm like, bro, we literally are up 400 points today, and you're gonna be mad at me for trying to short? Yo, bro, we're up fucking 2% on the Nasdaq, and bro's really trying to short. Oh my god, LOL. Do you guys think that's what people in the chat sound like in real life? Because that's how I imagine it. Ben says, yeah, we trap bulls this morning and sell off this afternoon. Well, that's great, Ben, because I'm not even worried about this afternoon because I'm worried about trying to trade this morning. So maybe we're actually on the same page. Ben, what, bro? Did we just become best friends? Yup. You want to go do karate in the garage? Yup. OF is the biggest degen company besides website Cookie Dough. Wait, besides other websites, Cookie Dough. They def should be banned. Yeah, I agree. Let's have some faith in our Donnie. Let's have some faith in our Donnie. He might get it done. Holy shit. 10:02, and we just had a Drake candle to the downside. Instantly. Did you guys see that? Look at this shit. Holy crap. Well, see, and this is what I said. I'm like, I'm leaning more bullish. But we'll see how this shapes out. This is interesting. Is this just manipulation? That was fast. That's why it's interesting, is because of how fast it was. Immediate rebalance on a 15-minute time frame, as you guys can see. So we'll see if this actually does hold and become a breakaway. Maybe you'd already consider that a touch. Look at this. Holy smokes. Did not leave a fair value gap to the downside here on the 1 minute, really. Tiny little one here, maybe, but you can see this 5 minute candle closing here in 30 seconds. Right now, showing respect to this fair value gap here with this close if we hold it here. Might try this long here, boys. Trying to just give it a second. I'm not in as of yet. You'll hear it when I'm in. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and give this a try, boys. I'm going to hop in here. I'm going to put my stop at this low. Got filled at 05 and a half. Stop's not too bad. Peace out, Ben. I think I'm starting to win Ben over. You know, game respects game. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Ba. I don't know if I'll necessarily 104. I'm gonna partial a little bit, probably above 1 standard deviations. Not much. I'll just shave a little bit off and remove risk, and then try to hold for -2. But yeah, everything holding here looking good for now. Don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood. But so far so good here. We have ES currently starting to push through these 1-minute highs. And NQ isn't there yet. Hopefully that SMT can fill. This would be bad news bears if this is a Drake candle down. No manipulation, no trade. Rita, I'm viewing this as the manipulation of this move. Possible distribution higher. So that's how I'm viewing it. I'm assuming you're talking about like no manipulation below like London, Asia. Correct me if I'm wrong. In that case, I would agree with you. But yeah, stop is good here. I got 10 micro contracts on. So my risk is $600, which I like. I think I'd be a little bit more timid if I was risking more, just because we have this SMT that just formed with ES, and if this just tanks, well then that's a bearish PD array in and of itself. But I'm gonna let this ride. I'm cool with the risk on this. Yeah, my plan is to go break even at negative. I'm gonna partial a little bit and remove risk at -1. All right, removing risk. Taking a small little partial. Took a small partial. I'm risk free now, boys. Put it a couple points in profit. Yeah, totally understandable, John. The SMT's gone now, though. Yeah, right. I was anticipating it to fail. It could have held and ran my stop, but lucky for me, it didn't. Just kissing -1. I'm risk-free now, guys. I took a little partial. I took 3 of my micro contracts off. I wanted to take just a little bit off because we're not even to like a 1 to 2 yet. I want to leave most of it for over 1 to 2. If I get this full -2 move, we'll be looking at a little over 1 to 3 in total. Obviously, with partials, it won't be quite that much. You have a soundboard with Topstep noises? No, I just turned the Topstep X sound alert thing on again. It'd be nice if we could get a strong close on this 5-minute candle. 38 seconds left on it. Doesn't look super promising if it wicks and we close below these highs. Pretty favorable close. We just haven't moved a whole lot of points really away. And sometimes if it is a little bit higher resistance, like it's a little bit tougher for me because I'm not usually one of those traders that likes to, you know, I don't really do a whole lot of like risk trimming per se. My risk trimming would be like taking a partial. But it's like, I'm kind of like, I just want to go break even. I don't really do a whole lot of like, some people will partial and then they'll like take like their stop loss and cut it in half. Or they'll put it below a structural low where they're like, no, we shouldn't go back below this. And then sometimes you'll see price still kind of chop back around. Like this could wick down into the gap again. You know, it could chop and still end up holding and going. You just have to maybe hold for the next 45 minutes. But I'm cool with if this comes back. I'd rather just get us have that break even, I think. Yo, what's up? YNZ Trades. The draw is 22-174. 22-174. Really? I got 22-111 for the next draw here. You're a little bit higher than mine. I projected out this these levels, by the way, from the retracement on the 1-minute chart going into the first presentation for value gap after open, by the way. If anyone's curious where I'm getting these levels anchored from. So this buy side level is inside 2 to 2.5. And I'm not even requiring it to go all the way there. I'm just going to take it off at -2. It's so interesting. It's so funny how the indices do this. Like NQ, obviously, with that open, NQ is the only one going higher. ES and YM going lower. And now it's like it actually is starting to look like ES is starting to gain more relative strength as opposed to NQ, as we see like on this 1 minute chart, ES is putting in new highs before NQ is. I just think it's funny how it'll flip like that. Funny in a not funny way, you know what I'm saying? But hey, it's in the market maker's hands now for me. I'm break even, risk free. I'll possibly look to partial a little bit more here at -1.5. Otherwise, I'd like to hold, you know, over half the position to this -2. So that's my plan. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm in soft trades on Topstep X. I took one partial already. And yeah, I'm totally aware that this could come and chop around and still hold and then continue. I don't know. Those aren't really trades I care to really even be in, so I'm not too mad about. If I get stop that break even and it still plays out, nah, it's whatever. It's just the expectation that comes with really the first few days of this week. Someone said Trump speaks. Trump speaking at 11? Really? That's tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, Trump speaks tomorrow at 11 at the World Economic Forum. I entered on this 5-minute candle here. After this candle closed, we traded back down into this gap. I was just monitoring it to make sure we weren't going to just, you know, get heavy and sell off. I'm probably about to get stopped at break even here.
Order filled.
Yeah, so I'm stopped at break even now. One little partial. Stopped at break even. Like I said, I think this could still end up holding, and this could just be, you know, chopping me out. My trade was choked because it's at break even. But it's all kind of fitting the expectation I had going into the day. So I mean, did it really just fucking bottom tick me out? I think this shit might have just bottom ticked me out. My stop was like 2 points in profit. It's going to rip, isn't it? I'm almost certain it starts ripping now. It'd be better for my mental health if it didn't, but something tells me that it's going to. Yeah, no, Pellin, I understand the reasonings for wanting to be bearish. I'm usually in the same boat when we have just one straight move up. I'm usually in the same boat looking for a reversal. I would say this trade I took this morning is a little outside of the norm for me. But just going off of like what the last couple of weeks have done when we have opening range gaps that are as large as they are as today's. It's played out every other time so far, and we've talked about it on stream multiple times now at this point. So I'm just kind of going off of that theory. And it worked out. You know, we got a little move up, took a high, we hit -1, got a partial off there. But yeah, it's just choppy, man. This is the expectation for the day. And I think it's just important to have expectations, proper expectations, just so when market doesn't give you like the cleanest straight move, you know, you're not sitting here getting like extra emotional and like pissed off. And you're just like, why the fuck is NQ chopping? When in reality, it's like, yeah, kind of expected this. You know? Where did I see the opening range gap? You just click regular trading hours. So opening range gap here. And I'm just basing this off of like what ICT lectured about last week or 2 weeks ago? I think it's 2 weeks ago now. Anything over 120 points is generally just more continuation. And like I said, it's you know it's not 100%. Nothing in trading is 100% accurate. But since paying attention to that in the last 2 weeks, there has not been a day where that hasn't played out exactly like that. So 100%, no. Accurate, I would say signs point to yes. And you can see, you know, we've gone up 120 points since the open without any digs into the opening range gap. Maybe ES. Let's see if ES did. Yeah, ES didn't even. So I would say today's another example of it playing out. You know, a reversal will come at some point and we'll fill this gap in, whether that's this morning or most likely either PM session or even tomorrow. But yeah, I would expect more than likely to see this probably continue, but yeah, I'm out of that trade as of now. Got stopped at break even on this pullback. Not really interested in chasing it at this point. But I am still tape reading what it does from here. I'll delete the long tool so nobody gets confused and thinks it's a trade signal. Yeah, look at that. I mean, look at that -1 level just dead in its tracks. Just took a short, hit TP1 in 2 seconds. And it was so quick I couldn't partial. Then stopped at break even. And then Oscar says, in response to Dawson, sounds like you need a new gaming chair. What? That's true. A new chair does help with trade execution speed. I think I fucked up. I got this ergonomic chair. But I kind of wish I would have went with a Secret Lab, or what's that called? Yeah, Secret Labs. A Secret Labs gaming chair just because they look so sick. You could have bought one if you took some profits there, yeah. Dawson, come on. If you would have had a gaming chair, a proper gaming chair, you could have taken some profits there and then bought another one. Shit like this make you want to quit your job. All right, I'm gonna check the heat map here. Refresh this old girl. Yeah, it's just not really moving a whole lot. Microsoft and Nvidia still up about the same. I think Nvidia might be up 1% more. Nvidia's up 4%. Microsoft up 2.8. A lot of things outside of NASDAQ are still break even or slightly red for the most part. But all in all, yeah, this position's still playing out. Again, kind of just tape reading it at this point. Didn't want to chase it. Or, get back in. I just kind of believe that, if I were to just get back in right away, then there was 0 point in me going break even. What would be the point of going break even and then just re-entering? That don't make any sense. I do wonder, little discrepancy here, but looking at this 15-minute chart, we are totally rebalanced on ES down in this price. We do have an open inefficiency on the 15-minute on NASDAQ. We'll see if, I don't know if it'll fill this though. It might just leave this open. $10:30 right now. Oh, look at this shit. Now she's busting. Is anybody still holding longs? Just curious. Classic buy day, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was that's what I began anticipating too after we saw everything happen at the open. Ben's not here anymore, but as soon as I said that, he started trolling in the chat as if it was the dumbest thing he's ever heard. And then upon further review, turns out he actually agreed with me and doesn't think we sell off until the PM session. And I'm like, so what was the point of you trolling? You literally agree with me. So some people just can't let any some people just can't let others be happy, can they? Soft Trade says right now I wouldn't short and wouldn't long. Yeah, that's why I'm not getting back in. I took the attempts. I just don't care to sit in trades like this, to be honest. Like, if it plays out, obviously it's easy to look at price and be like, oh, I should have held it, dude. Oh, look at the profit. How much more profit I could have had. But, I just don't like how I feel mentally and emotionally when I have to sit through chop and hold a trade. Like that, it happened to me yesterday in the PM session. I held a trade way longer than I thought I was going to have to. I thought I was going to be in and out of that thing in 10, 15 minutes, and lo and behold, like an hour, 15 minutes later, I'm sitting there like, okay, dude, I'm over it. Took the profit. So I don't know. I just don't. I don't prefer to sit in trades that go profit, back to entry, drawdown, profit, back to entry, and then, eventually still plays out. It's just like, not my first choice. But aside from all that, everything's still, the idea is still playing out here. From the 5-minute fair value gap. I do wish you guys luck if you guys are still holding. I think it looks good. Yeah, I saw. Do you guys know who Harry Sisson is? I'm assuming some of you guys do. He's like I don't know. He's like a shill for the DNC on TikTok, Twitter, or whatever. And this is so funny. Like you see, like he made a video, I think like 4 hours after the inauguration, saying, "Oh my God, you guys, all you MAGA guys who voted for Trump, all got played. Gas prices still haven't come down. Egg prices still haven't come down. You guys got played." Oh my God. You know what I mean? Just makes you want to do one of these numbers.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Yeah, I mean, type shit. Let's do a quick pulse check. First off, let me see first, really quick. How many of you guys actually took longs here? Give me a 1 in the chat if you did. Don't fucking type anything if you didn't take anything. All right. Thanks, OM. Thanks, Oscar. All right. For those of you guys that did type a 1 in the chat, put a number 2 if you're still holding. If you got stopped at break even, don't type anything. Thanks, Oscar. Too late, OMFX. That's a week in the hot box. I don't know, Anthony. Harry Sisson said that's incorrect. He said the correct answer is there's at least 2 genders. What do you got to say about that? Yeah, man. It's just one of those days. Like it's one of those days where we just grind one direction. You know, it's not a whole lot of displacement really. As you guys can see, like there isn't any like inefficiencies being left. We're filling everything. Everything's being efficient in the sense of we close every possible inefficiency here. Now we're starting to pick up some speed. This is why I wanted to ask if anybody was still holding. But realistically, yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot different I would have done there. The only other different way that I would have considered maybe managing it, you know, I don't think I would have wanted to trim my stop loss like this. Just because I'm putting it, I would have been putting it below nothing in here, right? And the reality is we could trade back into that 5-minute inefficiency, chop around, wick, and then still respect. So the only other way that I would have been okay with managing that would have been like partialing off more to cover the cost of my stop loss and then leaving it open. But neither here nor there. We'll watch and see how this plays out, though. We'll give it till like the end of the hour. Two losses trying to sell. What PD array did you try shorting from? Yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot. Aside from when we put in that initial SMT here, I don't know. Like even on this 1-minute chart, when we had that manipulation into that 5-minute gap, I don't know. You'd have to like drop down to like a 30-second. I feel like to have found, I don't know, like this bearish fair value gap on a 30-second or something. But at that point, we're respecting a 5-minute bullish gap. So I feel like that kind of throws a wrench in that. But I understand the desire to want to see lower prices, though, considering obviously opening range gap, considering we have no manipulation below. Asia, London. Really, since all yesterday, we've just been in a buy program. Why isn't crypto just pumping like the indices? Maybe Harry's system was right. Maybe we did get played. Speaking of boys, I don't know if anybody. Oh, peace out, Oscar. I don't know if anybody saw. Let me know. Let me know if you guys. Let me know if you guys can see. Well, hang on. Let me ask you this. Let me tell me what you see when I show you this. Oscar stuck around just to say Mia Khalifa, and then he's bouncing. But yep, Rita got it first. She saw it almost. He. Rita, are you? I'm just gonna ask you. Rita, are you a boy or a girl? I'm assuming girl. Your profile picture looks like a female silhouette. I went to high school with a girl named Rita. So that's why I say that. I apologize if you're of the male species. But yeah, Rita got it first. But technically you all got it. I'm surprised you guys can see that. All right, you got Trump. Somebody noticed the dollar bill. But notice the pillow. Somebody said that's us. Where'd they say it? The cushion with us. That's actually the hardest one to see, so I'm most impressed probably with that actually. The cushion behind my dog on the couch is all of us. Now you guys know. See, I was thinking about yous. My crypto, I don't think it's moved a whole lot. Yeah, it's like been hovering here for, I mean, you can even, it's been hovering here since, I mean, really, it's like been in this area for like a month, but it's at, that is where it is at currently. And I also missed the Trump coin madness. I saw it got listed yesterday on Coinbase. I will not be purchasing it. But yeah, the little animations that I had made up, I told him to put a beach in the background. I said I'd prefer a beach because it's something different. And he sent back like a city skyline. And instead of waiting 2 more days for a revision, I just said, you know what, looks good enough. Fiverr, you know what I'm saying? These Fiverr guys. Slow grind, boys. Anybody know any good jokes? We got macro starting here in like 2.5 minutes. I'm just chilling and tape reading this the rest of the way. Moral support for the folks still holding. Why did the Tyler cross the road? I don't know why. I thought I missed a question up here. I'm scrolling up. I can't find it. I thought somebody was asking questions about Topstep time limits or something. We missed it because I was getting stopped at break even at that time. Or maybe I was entering, I don't remember. You're good, OMFX. You're the only one that dropped a joke, so. OMFX, where do you live? How do you turn soup into gold? Is this a turtle soup joke? Adding 24 carats. OMFX, is Venmo or Cash App available in Canada? In Pear, where are you from? You don't think so? Hmm. They're both banned? You lying? You guys really do need to get adopted by the United States. Venmo not available. You're not joking. That's crazy. Wow. I was gonna send you and Pear, like, fuck, Pear's from Kenya. I was gonna send you both $10 each because you were the only ones that dropped jokes. But I was only gonna do it if you guys had Venmo or Cash App. Not anymore though. Sorry. Not anymore. You don't got the right tools. I'm gonna keep my money and buy a Chipotle bowl. Anthony won't like that in the chat if he's still here. Yo, he said Chipotle was poison. What do you guys think? Is Chipotle poison? Is he saying that because of like the seed oils that are used to make some of the ingredients? Seed oils. Listen, I'm not gonna say that I am a health conscious person. I am. I take health serious. But I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. And maybe this means maybe this means I don't care enough. But I just don't. I'm not that worried about it. Like little stuff like that. Is that bad? I guess depending on who you ask, it probably is bad. Don't come back and say, "Oh, in 20 years you're gonna care, buddy." Yeah. See how those seed oils treat you. You know what I'm saying? It's like if we're gonna be so serious about little things, I don't want. Again, I don't want you to take that out of context. But it's like the people that are like, I won't touch a seed oil ever. You know, they're probably also the people that are like, won't have one sip of like a cold brew with their mates while watching a foosball game. And I gotta tell you, couldn't be me. We're watching some foosball, and you say, hey Tyler, you want a beer? I'm gonna say, do I want a beer? What do you think? Of course. You know what? Give me two. Is Harry Sisson a liberal? There you go. GTA Painter, no, I'm not in a trade. I was in a trade. I got stopped at break even on this. Kind of anticipated this to happen, though. I said we could chop around. I could get stopped at break even. It could still eventually, like, work out. But I think it just kind of comes with the territory of today. Large opening range gap, expecting just continued expansion, which we've gotten. Obviously, no high impact news today. World Economic Forum going on. And, you know, from market open to a slightly high resistant conditions with markets going opposite directions. So I'm not like, I don't know, too bothered by it. I'm just happy that, you know, took a good trade, read price correctly, had the correct expectation and anticipation. Took a stab, got a little bit of profit off it, and that's, you know, could be worse. Do you trade till 11 a.m.? Yeah, I'm pretty much done for the morning most of the time. Most of the time I'm looking to be done. Like I'll usually give price until like this upcoming macro that we're in right now, actually. So yeah, 11 a.m. New York, 11 a.m. macro. And to be honest, if I wasn't streaming with you guys, I'd probably have, as soon as I got stopped at break even, I probably would have hopped off and went to the gym. But I don't want to end the stream that fast. Hang out a little bit longer, chat with you guys. Yeah, generally, if I'm anticipating a setup to possibly happen at 11, then I'll give it to them if I need to. But obviously, in a perfect world, I'd love to catch a trade right at like silver bullet macro every day and be done within 15, 20 minutes. You know, if I could BK have it my way every day, that's what I would choose. Can I do ICT outlook for Chipotle stock? Hang let me pull up Chipotle stock. I don't even know what the ticker is. CMG. What's this? Started on the weekly. So far this week on Chipotle stock, we see price rated previous weekly low. So far trading back into the range. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's drop it down to the daily. Yep, here's our previous weekly low. Level here being ran out. I don't know why my drawing didn't stay with us, but that's all right. Let's keep scaling in here. Yep. Let's go to 15. Okay, we're starting to maybe flip bullish here on Chipotle. Interesting, interesting. I think the safest bet would be perhaps wait to see a inversion of this fair value gap. If you wanted, you could perhaps wait for a close above here. Get your change in the state. Low-hanging fruit target. Bada bing, bada boom. Seed oils, baby. There you go. There's your Chipotle stock analyses. Okay. Oh, fuck. All right. Let's get back over to our normally scheduled programming. Look at this, boys. 15-minute bearish change in the state now. Oh, boy. What is going on here? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 11, right at 11 a.m. What? You don't say? I'll be a son of a gun. Look at us. Oh, wait. Do we go for the opening range gap, boys? I'm tempted. I'm tempted. We're not trading into a 15-minute inefficiency, even if we do go higher, ultimately. I don't hate the idea of a short into discount, at least this fair value gap. Perhaps opening range gap below this low. Ouch. 30-minute gap. Let's put a little line there. That'd be a good break-even level. In the event of a short. Where's it open? I don't hate it. I don't know if I love it either, but I don't hate it. mm. I'm gonna watch this 2-minute. I feel like this chart looks the cleanest. I am not in anything yet, by the way. For the record, we are retesting the CISD of the 15-minute. I think I want to see this gap. If we start showing respect here, I might give her a whirl. Oh, man. Mm. Mm. I'm not in yet. I'm tempted, but not in yet. And perhaps my patience will save me a loss if this just keeps going higher. So that'd be cool. But I'm looking at this. I'm watching it closely. Making a list, checking it twice. Trying to find out if NQ wants to be naughty or nice. And then yeah, I might enter this short, I might not. No fuck. No, Trump doesn't talk till tomorrow. Unless I'm missing something, Light Brigade. Somebody said that earlier that Trump speaks at 11. On the Forex Factory calendar, he says he speaks at 11 tomorrow. Let me know if I missed something though. Is there like a new press conference or headline or something that I didn't see? Yeah, this is kind of pushing up a little higher, possibly. We're tapping into this 5-minute little inefficiency here. I'm going to kind of avert my attention to this now. We got 3 minutes left on this. So far, I think this could just be liquidity run to keep pushing higher now that the way that this is starting to form, so. Could change in the next few minutes, but what time is it? Yeah, 11:07 already. So yeah, really in this macro, if you frame it like that, I think this most likely does go higher now. Yeah. Here's your bullish breaker as well. This is actually forming a bullish unicorn here on the 1 minute. I'm gonna tape read this. I'm tape reading it because I can make an argument for both sides at the moment. 15-minute order block here. But this internally looks bullish. I'm gonna tape read this and just see if we come take out this high or not. But is this a wick on it's a big five, it's that big 5-minute wick, that manipulation from earlier. The consequent encroachment. So I'm tape reading this long here. I'm not taking it. But see this breaker formation here? Here's the high. Overlaps with this fair value gap. So this would be a unicorn model. If I were to press a button, which I'm not, entry, stop below the fair value gap candle. If you wanted to, I think you could maybe extend it to like this breaker low here. But like I said, I can frame both sides, so I don't want to take really either or anymore. The short bias was framed off of possible short bias was framed off of this 15-minute. Look at this shit. Tricky, man. Tricky. Oh, fuck. My bad. Yeah, I had the wrong scene selected. The 15-minute, that's what I was talking about. This is what that possible short was based off of. $11.12. Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth shorting this. Cause here's what I feel like is likely to happen. I feel like what's likely to happen, unless ES did it already, no. I feel like what's likely to happen before we set up a short would be a raid of New York AM session kill zone high. So whether that's like now within this 40 minutes of time, or whether that's, you know, we see lunch open up and raid New York AM. you know, because we're exiting the kill zone, New York AM kill zone now. So this is kind of an awkward time of the morning at this point. But for tape read's sake, I'm going to just watch how this plays out. The tape read idea was a short at open of this order block. Stop at the bodies. And then TP, first TP would be like this 15-minute fair value gap, where the first presentation for value gap is. And then possibly a trade into opening range gap. Right, like this low, or you could just go to the open as well. So that's the tape read for now. Like I said, I just think that just because we're at time-wise, I don't know if probability is great. But just looking at price, that's a possible expectation. But I just don't think it's worth taking for me at this point. So, yeah, I'll probably leave it at that. But looking ahead to tomorrow. Tomorrow, obviously, being Thursday, we have unemployment claims, finally a red folder news. We have Trump speaking at 11 a.m. So we won't forget that. We'll be mindful of that. So I'll probably be looking to try to capitalize, obviously, like silver bullet hour macro, like I usually do, or early silver bullet hour. You know, would prefer to not be trying to catch a trade right as Trump is getting ready to say whatever he's going to say. I don't know. So that'd be the thought process going into tomorrow. But guys, as always, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for showing up to the stream. Like the stream on your way out, if you'd be ever so kind. One last little peruse through the chat here. Tyler, going on edge slightly, hesitating. Time to close laptop. Wait for tomorrow. This isn't fluid, man. I hope for the best. All right, thanks, Sabir. But all right, guys, I will leave it at that. Enjoy the rest of your guys' Wednesday. We took one trade today, got a small little partial off in profit, and then the rest got stopped at break even. But pretty slow markets for the most part after the open today. So. I feel like we did the best with what we had to work with. All right. And yeah, just tape reading this, guys. This is not like a trade idea that I'm taking or that I'm in. So enjoy your Wednesday, everybody. Appreciate yous. Love yous. And I'll see you beautiful folks tomorrow morning. Peace out, everybody.
Our trade sits at his desk, coffee in hand. The NASDAQ charts on his screen. He's in command. He's a day trader, chasing dollars and dreams. Using ICT concepts, he's got some tricks up his sleeves. From Fibonacci retracements to volume spread analysis, Tyler knows the smart money. He's gaining an advantage. He watches the market like a hawk in the sky. With every tick and every turn, he's catching the high. Running with the smart money, kicking up dust. Tyler trades a day trader you can trust. He's dancing with the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks. He's a millionaire. With the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks. He's a millionaire.